Things anxious partners wish you understood without them
I
saying
wish you
it.
understood.
There are things an anxious partner feels deeply inside, but they struggle to express them because they fear being judged, rejected, or seen as too much. They may smile, stay quiet, and act like everything is fine, while their mind is constantly searching for signs that they are still loved. An anxious partner does not always need grand romantic gestures. Sometimes they simply need emotional reassurance that they are safe with you. They wish you could understand the silent battles happening inside them without forcing them to explain every fear they carry. Because behind their questions, their overthinking, and their need for closeness, there is usually a deeper desire to feel chosen and valued. Many people misunderstand anxious partners and assume they are needy, dramatic, or overly emotional. But what they often experience is a nervous system that is constantly searching for security and connection. They are not always asking for attention because they want control. They are often asking because they fear losing something important. An anxious partner secretly wishes you understood that their biggest fear is not being alone, but feeling alone while being with someone they love. They can be surrounded by affection and still wonder if the affection will disappear tomorrow. They may analyze your tone, your messages, and your behavior because their brain is trying to predict emotional danger. They are not trying to create problems, they are trying to protect themselves from unexpected pain. One of the biggest things an anxious partner wishes you understood is that reassurance is not a weakness for them. When you tell them that you love them, that you are here, and that things are okay, it creates emotional safety. They are not asking you to constantly prove your love every second of the day. They simply want consistency, because inconsistency feels like a warning sign to their anxious mind. When your words and actions match, their nervous system slowly learns that the relationship is safe. But when you say one thing and do another, their fears become louder than your promises. An anxious partner wishes you understood that silence can sometimes feel painful to them. A simple delayed reply, a change in your mood, or emotional distance can trigger thousands of questions inside their mind. They may start wondering if they did something wrong, or if your feelings have changed. Even when there is no real problem, their mind may create possible explanations because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. They do not need you to fix every emotion they experience. They need you to understand that their emotions are real to them, even when the fear is bigger than the situation. An anxious partner wishes you knew that they often notice small details because they care deeply. They remember your favorite things, your moods, your struggles, and the little moments that others might ignore. Their attention to details is often their way of creating connection. Sometimes what looks like overthinking is actually a strong desire to understand and protect the relationship. They wish you understood that their questions are not always accusations. When they ask, "Are you upset with me?" they are often asking, "Are we still okay?" When they ask, "Do you still love me?" they may actually be saying, "Please remind me that I still matter." The words may sound different, but the emotion underneath is often a search for security. Anxious partners also wish you understood that they are usually harder on themselves than anyone else. They may replay conversations in their head and wonder if they said something wrong. They may blame themselves for emotional distance, even when the problem is not caused by them. Their mind often searches for mistakes because they believe fixing themselves can prevent rejection. They may carry old wounds from experiences where love felt uncertain or unpredictable. Those experiences can shape how they respond to closeness, conflict, and emotional distance. This does not mean every anxious reaction is healthy or that every fear should control the relationship, but understanding where those feelings come from can create more compassion between partners. An anxious partner wishes you knew that they do not want to chase you forever. Deep down, they want a relationship where they can finally relax and feel emotionally secure. They want to stop analyzing every message and stop wondering where they stand. They want to experience love without constantly preparing themselves for loss. One of their biggest wishes is to have a partner who communicates openly instead of leaving them guessing. Clear communication can calm fears that assumptions often make worse. A simple sentence like, "I need some space, but I still love you," can mean everything to an anxious partner. Because emotional distance without explanation can feel like abandonment. They wish you understood that they are not asking for perfection. They know everyone has bad days, busy moments, and emotional struggles. What they need most is honesty, consistency, and the feeling that problems can be solved together. They do not need someone who never makes mistakes. They need someone who is willing to repair, communicate, and reconnect after difficult moments. An anxious partner also wishes you understood that their love is often expressed through effort. They may check on you, support you, and constantly think about your happiness. Sometimes they give too much because being needed makes them feel connected. But they also need to learn that their worth does not depend on how much they sacrifice for someone else. A healthy relationship happens when both partners feel valued, not when one person is constantly proving their love. Anxious partners often fear that expressing their needs will push people away, so they may hide their feelings until they become overwhelmed. They wish you noticed the quiet moments when they are struggling instead of waiting until they break down. Sometimes the person asking for reassurance is not trying to create pressure. They are simply hoping someone will understand the fear behind their behavior. They want to feel accepted, not judged. They want to feel heard, not dismissed. They want to know that their emotions have a place in the relationship. If you love an anxious partner, remember that patience and consistency can heal many fears. Small acts of emotional safety can create a powerful sense of trust over time. A gentle message, a caring conversation, or simply keeping your promises can mean more than expensive gifts. Because for an anxious partner, emotional security is one of the greatest forms of love. And if you are an anxious partner yourself, remember that your feelings deserve understanding. But your peace should not depend completely on another person's reassurance. The healthiest love happens when two people create safety together, while also building security within themselves. An anxious partner does not want to be too much. They simply want to feel like they are enough. They want someone who understands that beneath their fears is a heart that deeply wants connection. They want someone who sees the love behind the anxiety. And sometimes, the greatest thing you can give an anxious partner is not a perfect relationship. It is the simple feeling that they do not have to fight alone for love. Because every anxious heart is secretly hoping for the same thing: to be understood, to be chosen, and to finally feel safe with someone they love.